Hey Peter, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Can you share the Twitter live stream on OpenGuild account? We already started.
Okay. Yes. Let me.
Hello.
Hello, Dan.
Hey. How are you guys?
Hey.
Just shared.
Do you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me
Okay.
too? Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Chase told me that he needs 3 minutes because he has some network problem.
All right.
But yeah, so basically we already streaming on this community call on Facebook, like all the account of Facebook and also Twitter account of OpenGuild and also Polkadot site as well. So
Oh wow, that's really amazing. Yeah, thank you for having us. We're super excited for this.
yeah.
But yeah, I will get the broadcast reposted, and then I'll do the same thing for the Polkadot Insider one. Here we are.
Okay, it's Chase here. Yeah.
Hey, hello everyone. Hello Dan.
Hello everyone. Nice to meet you.
Hello everyone. Nice to meet you. Gonna give like around like 5 minutes, so like people gonna join the community call, and then we're gonna kickstart soon. Meanwhile, like, how's your day, like Dan? How's your day, Peter?
Well, it's bright and early for me, so I'm just waking up.
That's really cool. Yeah, so first, yeah, thank you for coming to our community call today, and it's really exciting, to have like people from R0Gue network, like from R0Gue team, joining the community call, and really want to more about the pop team and also like the vision, like the current improvement, and also like how the people can use like pop to build to build parachain. Yeah, we're gonna deep dive into pop and also like the R0Gue team in the next few minutes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, thanks for having us, guys. I think what you guys are doing here is like I found out about you guys pretty recently, but there's not something like this in Polkadot. Like the closest I can think of is Substrate Stack Exchange, but it's yeah, like that's very technical all, and it's not really open to just people easily being able to talk to each other. So I think it's yeah, this what you guys are doing with OpenGuild is really amazing.
Thank you. Also, like I saw, like because I'm in the Telegram group of pop, and then I saw like also a discussion about like which channel that you guys gonna build to communicate with like the supporter. So I'm interested, like, do we have like do you guys like build any channel already? Like Discord or Telegram or any other channel aside from Telegram?
Right now, it is just Telegram, but we probably will do a Discord as well, just because it's a little more catered to developers and maybe being able to ask questions and things. But a lot of the people in there right now prefer the Telegram, so we're leaving it there for now. But we'll expand as we keep growing.
Yeah, I think like Discord is more like more friendly to other people aside from Telegram. Let me see my screen.
Yeah, to be completely frank, also, it's the reason that we are not doing that already is just also because then we have to like keep our eyes on another channel as well, and be active and responsive to all the people that are interested. And yeah, there's so much to do that yeah, we're trying to restrict it a little bit as of now, and have just this one Telegram channel where we can just focus and give the attention that people are interested in Pomp deserves. So, but it's definitely something we are considering and thinking about.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm really excited. I just want to ask too many questions now, but yeah, we have to wait for a few minutes for people to come in. They're gonna miss something from you guys.
Yeah, that's okay. And so, are you at the PBA right now?
Yeah, I'm in the PBA. I just
Oh,
get
no
back
way!
to. Sorry.
Oh, that's so cool. No, sorry, go on. That's so cool.
I mean, like, just get back to my room in the dorm from the desk. Did you guys join? I don't think you guys joined. Like, you guys are like deep expert in the ecosystem already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we've
so
been around. Yeah, go for it, Dan.
yes, I went to the first academy in Cambridge, and that's also how I got into this whole world of blockchain and Polkadot. So it was my start of my journey, and yeah, I'm still here, and
Oh,
not
oh,
planning to
wow.
leave as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like the BBA is so like I think like some people here. Let me count. I guess like two people is from like the PBA remote, and then I'm one. I'm from the on-site one, and yeah, like many people from the PBA. It's a array program. Yeah. Okay. So okay. So I think we should just start, and then like other team member will other like community member gonna join the community call soon. So just th again, like, thank you, Dan, and thank you, Peter, for coming to the community call today. And the community call today, for everyone like who don't know, like this is about like maximizing the Polkadot capabilities with the POP network. And this is a very and it's to me like personally, I think it's an amazing like tool that enhance the developer experience a lot. And I'm a big fan. So okay, so I think we just start about our special guest today. We're gonna have like Peter, Thaddeus, why? Yeah, like yeah, Peter and Dan, who is both a founder and also a developer of Pop and also R0Gue. Yeah. Um. So I just want to introduce a bit about OpenGuild. So like OpenGuild, for everyone who don't know, so we are the like the Web3 builders community, and then we like we are representative of Polkadot in Southeast Asia. So like anyone like who want to onboard to the Polkadot community, to the Polkadot ecosystem, and then like instead of like trying to learn everything and then learn about the ecosystem and then uh, like reach out to the people who in the existing ecosystem individually, you guys just be a part of the community, and then we're gonna provide all the resources and also like networking with you, networking and help you to network with other people who have the same mindset and also the same interest in Polkadot and also in blockchain in general. So yeah, that's what OpenGuild does. So in the past few months, like OpenGuild already contribute a few things to the Polkadot ecosystem. So like we build like a few courses, like I just like a past few, like 2 months ago, like we just migrate like the deprecated substrate keys tutorial into the new one. This is nothing. This is not like a very big thing, but yeah, like we just want to keep everything like up to date. So like people who interested in the Polkadot ecosystem, they can learn with like the new resources. And then we also like build courses for us, call it Open Rust, and like host them. Currently, we have a monthly hackathon. And other things like we also have offline event and community call, like the one that you're joining right now. That's, to help people like connect and then just learn more about like what we have in Polkadot and Rust in general. Okay, so first, I think like now I will give the turn to the R0Gue team to introduce a bit about yourself, because like I think like everyone here like really excited to hear more about yourself.
Right. Thank you, Chase. First of all, again, I think what you're doing here is amazing. And you're not doing nothing by keeping those things up to date. Like you're doing a hell of a job in the ecosystem by doing this because, yeah, like it's needed. Like like someone else is not doing it, and it is a problem that sometimes these resources are out of date. So yeah, like props to you for that. So yeah, my name is Daan van der Plas. I'm from the Netherlands, and yeah, I went to the first blockchain academy, and that is how I got into the whole world of Polkadot. And I soon after joined Parity as a support engineer, and yeah, I developed there and got all my experience from there. And that's also where I met Peter and the other four co-founders of R0Gue. And yeah, so we were in the delivery services, which was kind of a team who was between the core engineers and the ecosystem builders. And we were there to support, but also help build solutions. And yeah, already have a little focus towards the developer experience for Polkadot. And yeah, we have now set on our own journey where we want to build the POP platform, which we envision as a platform to help builders build solutions on Polkadot, either via a smart contract solution or a parachain solution. And yeah, so we are now building two, I know what we call it internally, products. One is the POP CLI, which is a command line tool for Polkadot development. So it can help you set up a new project, being a smart contract or parachain, and it basically helps you with a lot of steps that previously were kind of annoying and very repetitively, and also very easy to make like small mistakes. And yeah, we're trying to take those pains away and yeah, improve the developer experience. And then the second product that we're building is Pop Network, and this is an Inc smart contract parachain where we really want to unleash the power of Inc and Polkadot together, because I think there is a lot of potential there, and we also believe that Inc is a very important entry point for new developers into the Polkadot ecosystem, and yeah, like really, like yeah, and yeah, I'll
Yeah.
leave. Well, I'll give Peter also the word, and he can maybe continue a little bit on what we're trying to achieve with Pop Network.
Yeah, thanks, Don. So, yeah, I mean, as Don said, we work together in Parity's delivery services. I started there. I guess at this point it's been over couple years is when I started working there, and then yeah, we built things for ecosystem teams, for enterprises, for basically other projects, and we did a lot of support to help people out. And as Don said, we basically have now taken this knowledge that we learned there, and we're using it to tackle Polkadot's problems head on, starting with developer experience and making it easy and empowering to develop on Polkadot. I don't really have anything else to fill in from what Don said, so I'll send it back to you, Chase.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Peter, for a very insightful introductions about your team. There's also like a few questions that I'm really interested to ask. So based on my research, like pop teams is already like you guys already you have a deep experience in Polkadot, and then like the current group team is focusing on like delivering like as from my understanding is like the developer experience a solution. So like my question is like what draw you what kind of motivation that you guys need to spend so much effort and like spend too many years in the Polkadot ecosystem, and why is it Polkadot? And yeah.
Yeah, so for me, it's for me when I found Polkadot and like dove into all of the blockchain world, Polkadot just stuck out to me. It stuck out to me at first for its technology and like the substrate framework. I thought that was a super super powerful thing. So that's really what brought me in was substrate. And then as I stuck around and as I've spent a couple years here, I really do believe that one, Polkadot's technology is really, really amazing. It's, I think, years ahead of other ecosystems. But two, I really enjoy and I like that Polkadot and the people that have developed Polkadot haven't cut corners around the things that are actually really important to a proper Web3 and blockchain protocol and community. And that's one is the decentralization. It is a really decentralized network. That's why it's usually at the top of the list when you compare Nakamoto coefficients and all those fun things. And yeah, so I mean, I think that those are kind of the main things. And then of course, just the community is really great here. So I enjoy just being able to work with everyone. Anything you have to add, Don?
Yeah, so I think like all those reasons you gave about Polkadot, I had those as well. And to add on that, like I don't know, like I just the feeling Polkadot gave me was just like, wow, this is for some reason different. It just feels, I don't know, the right solution. And I don't have anything else more to say about because I'm not really that of an expert in the other ecosystems. But like that feeling of
Giờ em chuẩn bị đi rồi, bye bye anh. Em đi chơi với bạn. Dạ đúng rồi.
Okay. Okay, I think it's good now, right? Okay.
Yeah, he's so but yeah, basically that feeling of Polkadot being on a right trajectory, and really building the right things with a long-term vision, and like basically just trying to improve the world. That's also why I got interested into blockchain. And yeah, that just got me still so motivated and energized to be a part of it. And I think one thing that we faced was that we knew that Polkadot was so amazing, but the rest of the world didn't. And developer experience was a big issue. So like we literally we did we had like a whole board of ideas that we wanted to tackle on, and developer experience was the biggest one. And we had a lot of ideas, and yeah, we started to create solutions, and we came up with a really cool idea with this pop platform. And yeah, that's what we started our R0Gue journey with. Like we are not just about improving the developer experience. Like we want to, like our vision is to make it possible for people in the future to create these Web3 solutions for the future on Polkadot. And in order to do that, developer experience is something that needs to be good. So like first thing that we wanted to do was just, all right, let's try to fix the developer experience.
Wow, really interesting. Like, but like before Polkadot is Polkadot the initial experience of you guys to the blockchain technology, first experience, or like you guys already know about blockchain before Polkadot?
For me, so I started learning about blockchain probably it's like a year before I found Polkadot. I didn't do any significant amounts of development, but I did, I played around with Solidity some. I looked into other ecosystems. I think the first one that I actually found was like for a school project, and it was EOS, and I mean we've seen how that went so far. Um, but then yeah, it was like a year later. I got introduced to Polkadot. So it was like that was the technology, the first technology that I really, really like dove into and got super familiar with.
Gotcha. How
Yeah,
about you, Dan?
for me, it was the start of everything regarding blockchain. I was also quite fresh in engineering in general, so I knew some C. I programmed some C for a year, and then I found this Polkadot Blockchain Academy announcement in my spam, by the way. And I just signed up, and for some reason, they accepted me. And I started to learn about, I knew blockchain, but more from a, um, I don't know, like I was buying some tokens, I was buying some NFTs, but not really. I had never written a smart contract or anything. Um, so yeah, like Polkadot was really my introduction.
Also, just one last question about the team. Like, how do you guys like find each other? Like, I mean, like, do you guys like share with the same thought of like improving from one solution, like trying to come up with the solution as a team, and then and like finding a co-founder. Yeah. How did you guys like find co-founders? Because you guys are the co-founder of the project, right? So I think like many people like who interested in like building the project, not only in Polkadot, but also like in other startup as well. How do you guys find the founder?
Well, for us, we kind of had it, I guess, easy. And that's because we were all in the same team within Parity. So we were all within delivery services. So um, basically, with the decentralization of Parity, we had to come together. And the people there are all people that, yeah, we worked with sometimes on the same project, but oftentimes just different projects, and we talked with each other. And it was a really great team that delivery services had. But I think us six were kind of the ones that really clicked together, especially with all of these ideas. So yeah, we had it a little easy. Unfortunately, I can't give much advice on going and finding co-founders because that is a difficult thing.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for your answer. Yeah. Now we're gonna move a little bit like deeper into I think like one of the core product of R0Gue Team right now, based on my understanding. I don't know if you guys like have any like other core vision, but yeah, like based on my understanding, like Pop Network is the core of R0Gue Team. So can you guys like introduce a bit about Pop Network?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Don's already given a high level overview of it, but basically, we wanted to take on this developer experience and making it easy and, as I said, empowering to build for Polkadot. And when doing this and researching and all of these things, you quickly find that um, well, one, it's hard to build for Polkadot. There is a steep learning curve and overhead, and as Don pointed out, just like the tiny things that you miss, and then your contract doesn't compile or your parachain doesn't compile, whatever it is. So we wanted to offer this encompassing platform for just developers, right? If you want to do a whole parachain, you can go do that. If you want to do a smart contract, you can do that. So Pop Network is the piece that covers the smart contracts because right now we believe that for Polkadot native smart contracts, Ink smart contracts, there isn't the support needed for it, right? And it's difficult. But most importantly, these Polkadot native smart contracts, as of before, they couldn't use what Polkadot had to offer, right? They couldn't use the features, the things that Polkadot has, such as XCM and cross-chain calls, and the palette development, right? The palette development is a really powerful feature of Polkadot where you can build a palette and easily incorporate that into an entire blockchain, right? It's like super easy to customize your blockchain. But Ink smart contracts couldn't use this, right? So it was kind of this problem of, why would somebody want to build a smart contract on Polkadot when they can't use what Polkadot has to offer? So that's kind of where Pop Network comes in. Oh, and then to add one more, it's also, people can't deploy their smart contracts with the DOT token, right? They have to find a different token, and then deploy the smart contracts with that. So with all of this, we came up with Pop Network. So basically what we're doing is, one, we only use the DOT token. We don't have any other tokens, so people can deploy their smart contracts, use their smart contracts, whatever it is, all with DOT. And then we also offer basically an API or an interface to the Ink smart contracts to all of the features that Polkadot has to offer. And the idea is that this will be done in a super easy way, where it's just a couple lines of code. So like for Sub-Zero, we did a proof of concept where we had a smart contract buy basically block space and core time for a different parachain, all with literally just 2 lines of code. So it was a super small amount. Yeah, so that's kind of the vision there of Pop Network.
I want to ask
if I can, if
yeah,
I can add like one more thing, which is like basically what we're trying to do here with Pop Network is build a blockchain that's built for developers in a way, like, because there is so much to offer in Polkadot. Like, you can do so many cool things. That's because of all the parachains that has all these unique functionalities and that you can interact with. But it was just so hard to use it. There was not much action taken into like, okay, how can we make this as easy as calling another contract? And basically that's the core of Pop Network, is that we are going to enable that. And based on the feedback, like, this is a chain for Polkadot developers, like, based on what everyone needs and wants to build on Polkadot and isn't a palette for, or it's not that easy enough yet. We want to tackle that. And yeah, like, I think, so Polkadot has already all the features to be a reason to build your smart contracts, but now it just needs to be simplified and like be given to the contract engineers, so that they can build all those cool things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with your point of view, because like, for example, I just started like learning Polkadot 4 months ago, and then like my first experience is just to first is there too many things to learn. The second thing is like, I always like have a question is like, why we have something called like a multi-sig palette, which allow you to to do multi-sig in the Polkadot, but then like you cannot use these multi-sig capabilities in your smart contract. And I always asking that because like before Polkadot, like I was in Solana and Ethereum ecosystem, and then like you can do something similar to that in those ecosystem, and then like we don't have that in Polkadot. And and actually like when I read like the proposal from Pop, like I think like last month or last 2 months, and then like it mentioned about like using the palette functionality in the smart contract, then it's totally like blow my mind. Yeah, that's really cool. So now we're gonna learn a little bit more about Pop Network. I think like this question and motivation, we already know so much about like how like you guys are dedicated to build to enhance the developer experience of Polkadot and also like the story behind it. So let's see. So how about obstacle? Like I think like building a startup, like Pop is also a startup, right? So building a startup, are there any obstacle? Like like how do you guys like correct the demand from your user, like because your user is a developer who in Polkadot, right? And I think like right now Polkadot also have a few problem with like onboarding a new developer to the ecosystem. So are there any obstacle and also a solution from you guys to like solve it, and also like to draw the people in using the Pop?
So I think you hit the nail here, or how do you say that? Like you hit, like you're totally right here. And so to be completely honest again, like this is something that yes, we are going to tackle, and how we don't have like a whole like thought out solution for yet. Um, because like you said, like we start up, so I don't know, we first had to like come up with the ideas and make the proposals and everything, and then we had to found the company, and now we have some funding, and now so like we're slowly getting there. We just published our first release with Pop CLI, and yeah, now with Pop Network funding, we started yeah, with the first milestone of Pop Network. But I have seen the problem also, and specifically also with Ink engineers, Ink smart contract developers, like they're a bit lost. And luckily we have Alice and Bob, who is trying to like kind of unify the Polkadot ecosystem and trying to tackle the biggest problems, which are user experience and developer experience, and trying to find solutions for it. If I'm completely honest with you, Chase, this is one, what you are doing here. Like, this is already something that isn't in Polkadot yet and would be like, this is already amazing. And I think a big already, like a big part towards the solution of, yeah, create this community of developers that want to learn Polkadot, want to learn together, and want to, I don't know, make Polkadot amazing and build something amazing on Polkadot. So I think, yeah, like really again, props to you, because you are doing it already a little bit. But so we would like to do maybe something similar, but why would we do it if for example you were already doing it? Like I would rather just, I don't know, find a way to do it with you, because all we need is just this Polkadot community of developers that want to build, and provide them the resources that they need. So yeah, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, to add to what Don is saying is, when it comes to other ecosystems, we don't have a super detailed strategy for bringing developers in. And that is kind of on purpose, because right now what we're doing is we are focusing within Polkadot. And the reason that is we have this community here that is essentially on our side. They know the problems. So that allows us to really hammer out and iron out the details and make Pop a super easy to use platform. That's something that people actually want to build on because it's solving their needs. And the Polkadot community is the easiest community for us to get that feedback and just keep iterating and improving. And then once we have that to a place that essentially we're comfortable with, or maybe not fully comfortable with, but a place that's good to use, then we start expanding out, and we'll probably start going to ecosystems that maybe have Rust developers to start, right? Because that's a pretty big ecosystem. There's lots of ecosystems out there with Rust developers. And also there's just lots of Rust developers. So those are kind of the easy wins to try to get them into building with Ink, because Ink is just Rust, so it kind of fits. Yeah, hope that answered your question.
Thank you for your the amazing answer, and we really thank you for like shout out OpenGuild, and yeah, like we here it's also like to help the Polkadot ecosystem to grow bigger, and also like I also have other things to share, like because you guys mentioned something about like workshops. I mean not like workshop like but like how to help a developer onboarding using Pop, and then like I really want to show this to the community member because like some community member didn't join our workshop, but like I think like last week, like we run a workshop and then we use Pop as our main tool to run the workshop. Like just three main command, and then like there's already like 10 version graded from using the CUI, and that's amazing tool. So I will send a link here. So if any community member who interested in like building your first parachain, this then you just follow the workshop, and I have to say like the experience is um exactly like great React app. I also always say that like whenever I do a workshop, like I can show you immediately like right here, like just 1 minute. um Sorry. Just show you like 1 minute and you already have a parachain ready instead of like all the process you required to do. For example, like let's say, okay, okay, so let's say like I download the file ready, right? And I just do like up new, uh, let's call up OpenGuild. I think it must be pub new parachain. And yeah, and then like generating the parachain, and now you already have a parachain source code already. Like before, like I must say, like if you're new to Polkadot and you follow the official documentation, you will know that like okay, you have to get to like you have to clone the substrate repository. You go to the substrate repository, you build it, and then you do all the stuff to configure the substrate repository. And sometimes the substrate source code can have a mismatched version with the mismatched version with like the tool chain that you have in your machine, and then like just completely break your experience, like your initial experience with Polkadot. But like with Pop, then like because like Pop already build a base layer for the parachain, so like you know using the CY is completely insane experience. So yeah. So that's just a small demo because like yeah. Okay. But I must say like I really like how Pop is doing. Get back to what we have here.
Thanks,
Okay.
Chase, for the awesome demo. And yeah, so we do have an actual release out for Pop CLI, where you can just basically download the binary and set it up. And I think even from the version you're on, there's some new improvements. So like that process, you could just do Pop new parachain, and it will walk you through like a bunch of different providers and templates you can choose from. So like if you wanted to do an EVM template, an Ethereum compatible template that has async backing, you can just like press with your keyboard and just click it, and it'll generate it. So yeah, thanks for the awesome demo.
Just a quick question, like does the Pop support like HO time like currently already? Oh. That's really cool. Okay, so back to the
Wait,
obstacle.
core time or asynchronous backing? Or I thought you said
Uh,
asynchronous backing.
yeah, I think like maybe like asynchronous backing because I'm not like too deep in the parachain development yet. But yeah, so again now we get back a bit to the obstacle part, and I think like one very interesting question that I have waited to ask the pop team is about the ink. Because right now, like as I see in the pop like pop use cases, like ink is the core part. But just recently, like we got a news from a parody that they no longer support ink. So I really want to know like how like as at the root team, also like one of the core teams that gonna support the ink programming language. So I really want to know like how the ink maintenance and also like the further development of ink in the future, and like should new developer learn ink or they should just focus entirely on solidity. And also another question is like will pop support solidity as well? So yeah. um yeah, and for anyone like who don't know what ink, So Ink is one of the programming language that's on Polkadot that you can use to write a smart contract and deploy on the parachain. Yeah. So yeah, back to the root team about the questions. How
Yeah,
about like ink independence and further improvement? And the other thing is how solidity. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jace. So this one, so basically, yes, Ink has transitioned out of parity. And the reason that's happened is parity wanted to focus 100% on building the core infrastructure of Polkadot, and in particular, helping to build for, this Polkadot 2.0, as some people are calling it, and then potentially Jam in the future. So they wanted to focus fully on that. So they've transitioned Ink out of parity. But just because Ink is not within parity does not mean that Polkadot is no longer supporting Ink. So basically, we talked a lot with the Ink core developers that were at parity, and some other teams like R0 and Scio Labs, and we're essentially creating this. I guess you can call it a collective of companies and core engineers for Ink that will continue maintaining Polkadot. Continue maintaining Ink within Polkadot, right? Because this is Polkadot's Ink. It's a part of the Polkadot community, and we think it is something that is very important for Polkadot. Yeah, so like in terms of how it's going to be maintained in the future, we are still defining out the details exactly, but basically it will be a collective of people that kind of work together to maintain it. And then also we plan on doing things where we'll have like community bounties where somebody can come in, they can actually push a PR, and then it'll be verified by the collective and essentially moved into Ink. And I think this is going to be a super powerful way for Ink to carry forward. And we've seen this with a lot of things where it's like parity decentralized and a lot of things transitioned outside of parity. Like marketing, for example, has been picked up by a company called Distractive. Events have also been picked up by Distractive and a company called Dissenter. There's UX collectives, there's tooling collectives. There's a lot of these collectives that have popped up, and they're doing quite powerful things, quite successful things that, to be honest, are probably working better outside of parity because there's now this whole community and driving force behind it. So that way parity can focus on what it needs to focus on, and then these new collectives can spin up and focus what they're focusing on. And this is essentially what's happening with Ink.
Yeah, and to add to that, like I would like so the question you asked, like, should someone like learn Solidity or I don't know, Ink? Like the reason I went also into Polkadot and why I want to develop with Ink is because I want to develop with Rust. I want to learn Rust. Like Rust is a language which is, I believe, something that will be such a useful skill like years to come. And therefore, I also want to build my software with Rust, which is Ink, and Ink is an amazing smart contract language. Everyone that that I talked to within the ecosystem also believes in Ink, in Ink's potential. And I don't know how much experience you guys have with Ink, but it's a lot of fun. It's the entry point for a developer in Polkadot. It also prepares you to be able to then transition to parachain development because you're learning Rust, you're learning, the Polkadot ecosystem and blockchain fundamentals. It just very aligns with everything else in the Polkadot ecosystem, and just everyone that just then says like, oh, what about the future where I don't know, with Jam and everything? Well, also in that future, I want to develop my software in Rust. So I really believe that it's not over, not at all, with Ink and the smart contract language. Yeah, and we are here to help, and to help it continue.
Yeah, like based on my personal experience, like when I just started like learning about Polkadot and Ink, I think like Ink is a good tool. Like it's a very good programming language because it's basically just Rust with macro. So but I mean like just personal questions like from from the aspect of the developer, like shouldn't they use something that quite easy and then like have all the language ecosystem that gonna support the language, like for example like Solidity it is already has like compiler and also IDE or like browser IDE that gonna support the language. um However, like in right now doesn't have it yet, and like compare with like the effort that you're gonna spend or like developing the new ecosystem for one language with like just focus on um on like solving all the problems. I think like it's quite yeah. And
Yeah.
also I
So,
mean
oh,
yeah okay yeah okay.
okay. Yeah. So basically, it is a good point that Solidity as a blockchain language, blockchain smart contract language, has been around for longer than Ink. So there is some more tooling specific to Solidity when it comes to smart contract languages. But the cool thing about Ink is Ink actually, in some ways, has more tooling than Solidity because Ink is Rust, and Rust has been around longer than Solidity has. So a lot of the tools that Rust already has, and a lot of the community that Rust already has, Ink also has as well. Like for example, if you know Cargo Contract is the thing that builds Ink smart contracts. It's integrated with really powerful linters called Clippy and these types of things that were already built for Rust. So it's a super fleshed out and essentially linter that when you build your contract, it's going to sit there and say, here's a bunch of vulnerabilities that you might have. Here's a bunch of things that you should improve in your code. And that was super easy for the Ink team to incorporate because, well, it's just Rust, right? So they're just able to pull that amazing tool that Rust already had and pull it in. Now, regarding the point of, is it better to build with Solidity or with Ink? Well, I mean, it's a subjective point depending on the ecosystem you're in. Personally, I like Ink a lot for the reason of, yes, it's Rust, and Rust is known for its steeper learning curve. But when you build with Ink and when you build with Rust, you have a peace of mind that it may be more difficult to get with Solidity. And the reason is that the way Rust is built is for security. It's for ensuring that your programs are as secure as they can be, without memory leaks and without these types of things. But also, it's just that Rust is improved and built upon by really big companies like Google, Apple, NASA, big national laboratories. There's satellites that use Rust. The Linux kernel uses Rust. Microsoft is rewriting things in Rust, right? And the reason they're doing that is because of the security offerings that it has. So when you build blockchain applications, they're usually quite mission critical and quite sensitive, where the smallest bug could potentially cause millions of dollars lost of value. Personally, I would be more comfortable writing these types of applications in a language that supports me and supports the security of it. And then to answer one more question you asked before, which was, will we support Solidity in Pop Network? There's actually a cool thing happening that is going to take some time to develop, but Parity is working on having Solidity compile into essentially WASM, or it will be it's called PokerVM, RISC-V, yeah. And this will then allow Solidity contracts to work in the same virtual machine that Ink works in. So once that's rolled out, we can actually support Solidity without an EVM. So that will be a cool thing. But right now we're doing 100% focus on Ink.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's demystifying a lot of stuff that have in my mind now. Yeah, but I think like you definitely have to give in more more time with Ink, so like I gonna understand it more. But yeah, really thank you for for your answer. Okay, so all right. So I'm just curious, like so pop is what we see right now, but do you guys like have um a further vision in mind? Because like you guys are Roach, not pop team, right? You guys are Roach team, so definitely you guys definitely have a core vision or core things that that all the team follow. So I'm just curious, like, what is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Don, you want to take this one? Okay, yeah. So, vision for R0Gue in the future is, well, right now, yes, we are focusing on developer experience, making it easy to build. But this isn't where we stop, right? Pop is right now, it's just trying to get people in the door, get them building easily. But then we want to expand out, and we are going to expand out like our offerings, like Pop CLI and Pop Network, and make them better so that it's not just the starting to develop that's easy, but also as you continue to develop and wanting to scale, maybe scale out your smart contract into an actual parachain. We want to offer this so it's a full encompassing, essentially, journey and platform that guides you on your entire journey. So that's kind of the vision for Pop. And then for R0Gue, yeah, we're building Pop right now, but there may be other products that we'll have and other offerings that we have in the future that maybe specific to Polkadot, where we offer a different thing for Polkadot. Don, is there anything you wanna add?
I think like how we came together as a group, and like one thing we have as a big priority, besides just, I don't know, earning money and being able to live, but like we wanna become really good engineers in this Web3 future that we believe is coming. And while building solutions for problems that we see in the ecosystem, we improve, and we want to build even cooler things afterwards. So, like, what is the goal with R0Gue is to become a company that can solve real world problems and build solutions in this Web3 world. And either we do that with our own, based on our own ideas that we have, like now with the Pod platform, or we help others. So yeah, well, that's kind of a summary
That's
of it.
the very great vision. Yeah. Okay. Another thing is, I think I just gave a demo to the community member maybe like 5 minutes ago about like how to create a parachain with Pop. It's so easy. I'm just curious, like, so for new developer who coming to Polkadot, let's say they already use Pop to create a new parachain using like Pop new parachain something. What the next thing that they have to learn and also have to gather more knowledge to build like a real parachain that can in production level.
Yeah, so building a parachain, it does have some overhead, a lot of overhead actually. We try to reduce some of that overhead, but at the end of the day, there's kind of a few paths you can take. So first is you just want a parachain that uses the existing frame palettes. It's like a library of pre-built modules that you can plug into your parachain. And that is kind of one of the easier ways, I guess you can say, where you come in, you use Pop new parachain, you can customize it, add palettes in, and then you need to actually deploy it. And kind of as we are building for developer experience in one direction, there's actually a lot of teams building for developer experience and actually launching parachains. One that we really like is called Tansy. And basically you can go and deploy your parachain with them super easily, and they'll manage everything for you. So that's a really powerful thing. But then if you want to actually create custom functionality that only exists on your parachain, you will need to learn something called, palette development, right? So you have to poke around substrate documentation and watch all the YouTube videos on Polkadot, or go to the PBA, where you kind of learn a lot of this stuff there. And then you can go and you can actually build custom palettes and launch a parachain that's really customized to you. And this is a lot of work, but actually in Polkadot and for a blockchain framework, this is actually a super powerful framework that takes something that is really, really hard and makes it a little hard. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is still a lot of work to launch a parachain, but it is much easier with the Substrate framework. And then, of course, if you don't need a full blockchain, if you don't need your own dedicated transaction pools and things like that, then you should probably consider Ink, actually, because that's actually much easier, because you don't have to run all of the infrastructure. It's you write your smart contract, you deploy it, and it's much lower overhead than full parachain.
Yeah, and I don't know if you asked your question in a way like, I don't know, do you have what is it, tips for where to, I don't know, where to go after you did the Substrate Kiddies tutorial or whatever. It's like I think because there are so many blockchain ecosystem, some that are like ahead in terms of what's been being built, not really in like the low level blockchain infrastructure, but more applications. Look if you see something that you find really cool and you would like to try out and build yourself with, for example, Ink, and build it in Polkadot, because I think there is a lot that you can build, which is in other ecosystems, but not in Polkadot yet. And then, like, to take it even further, like, try to see if you can maybe see how you can solve it in this more of a Polkadot way, where you start to use this blockchain infrastructure that is offered in Polkadot, instead of doing everything with smart contracts. So yeah, that's again, I don't know if is that what you asked, but if you did, then that's what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really really much answer my questions. Yeah, thank you, Dan, thank you, Peter. Another thing is because we in the PPA, like the PPA is running right now, and like many community members of OpenGuild is in the PPA, and some people also ask me like, what you gonna do after 1 month in the PPA? So as a Polkadot expert and already like have couple of years experience in the Polkadot, so what's your like suggestions? Also like yeah, some advices for like people who already plan spend 1 month in the program, and then like after that, like what should they do if they want to be like build like a real career in Polkadot? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
From your
yeah, so there's a few things where, one, substrate engineers are actually a rare resource. So there's a lot of ecosystem teams that could probably do with a substrate engineer. So you can always apply or just put your name out there. But also Polkadot has something really cool where it's actually the largest DAO in the world, which means basically there's the Polkadot treasury where it funds people to build projects, to build in Polkadot, right? So you can go, and if you have a really cool idea for something you want to build or improve, or maybe you just want to write documentation, you could potentially get funding from the treasury. And it's not guaranteed that you're going to get the money, but generally it is a pretty friendly community. So like if you come in, it's like, I want to do this cool thing, write up a proposal and say, here's what I'm going to do. And then you could, I'd recommend that you keep it small to start, and maybe even do the work first. Do the work first, show the people, and then you can submit a proposal to get retroactive funding for it, right? So in this way, you basically, you can be self-employed and you can be funded without actually having to work for a company. And the treasury covers lots of things. So yeah, and what else, Don? You got anything to add there?
So I think still this sounds harder, in a way harder than it sounds, but also easier than it sounds. If you really like Polkadot and you want to commit to it or try it, like that's the first step. Like one thing is you are at that moment in a place with a lot of people that perhaps have the same ambition and fire and, I don't know, interest as you. So like try to see if you can already find some people that you like to work with and a problem in the ecosystem. And one thing I read, I already forgot if I read that today or yesterday, but I read a comment of one of the ecosystem, I don't know, persons, where he was saying that like lowering the barrier of like people to introduce themselves to the Polkadot ecosystem on OpenGuild that wants to build and help Polkadot like improve. Like Peter said, start really small. So start with not asking funding for like, I don't know, 6 months or a year, which you can also do it, but that requires a lot of preparation. Like we prepared for that, I don't know, 6 months almost. So start smaller, like start, I don't know, ask for a month and already indicate like, okay, we see a problem here and we would like to solve that. And we want to ask for funding to try to come up with a solution. And I don't know, already provide some ideas that you have. Like you don't need to ask for much. And the Polkadot Treasury has a lot. So this is a much lower barrier or like also I think the community to just say, yeah, okay, this is cool, a little bit of money, like let's get as much of those people that want to build and like let's give them the chance. And then if they come back and if they prove their, I don't know, their work, then all right, then you can increase. And then you basically you like if you do 6 months of work without this assurance of okay, they can like maybe they don't even like the idea, you already solved that problem because you got your your funding for this month. So you already got some kind of feedback. All right, this is something that the community might be interested in. And one other thing is just going to the treasury, making a proposal, all that kind of stuff. That also takes time. So the sooner you can do that, the sooner you get comfortable with getting that in your system, in your group of people that you're building with, the better, I would say. And I think one really cool problem that I think would benefit the entire ecosystem is how we can make it even easier for people to build things than like what I just said. So like I don't know a bounty system which is even I don't know working even better than how it does now. I know that it already exists, but is it used that much? Like and one other tip I think is like Polkadot's governance and this biggest DAO in the world that it is like that is something that makes Polkadot unique. So yeah, that is something that people find interesting and people want to improve because that is something that also attracts new people to the ecosystem. So yeah, there's so much that can be solved. It's just yeah, and like last thing is you just have to do it, and that's again harder than it sounds, but yeah, I don't know. It's just yeah.
Yeah, I think that's is like the most passionate guys when talking about like open government also all the decentralization things. So, yeah, like if even like OpenGuild is also like one of this like got one of the successful approval like proposal from OpenGuild to run all the initiative, and I just remember that like oh, yeah, congratulations like R0Gue Team for like your newly approved proposal. And can you guys like just because it's already a bit late, so just can you guys like just share a bit about like how did you guys prepare for the proposal, because like we are talking about the OpenGuild and all the treasury thing, so maybe like all the people who have some idea that want to build in Polkadot and want to list it on the DAO, the global data, they can totally do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you do a treasury proposal, first off, there's a website called opengov.watch that explains very well what you should do. But in general, the tips that you should have is one, you need to have a summary page. It's like a page long at max that is super, super concise and explains why you're doing something, what you're doing, and very importantly, how does it benefit the Polkadot ecosystem. For us, we defined out a really big doc at first, and then it took us a while to like really refine this and shape it down into a one-page doc. And it wasn't just us we got help, right? There's a company called like Just Open Source, and they help people write treasury proposals, or they help give advice on it. OpenGov.watch is another one where you can hop on a consultant call with them and get advice. And yeah, I see in the chat that somebody else can help. Is that Chris? Yeah, Chris can help. There's people in the ecosystem that can help you write these proposals. And I guess that's the biggest piece of advice. You can get help, and they'll help you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for the great advice. Yeah. So can everyone like give the big applause to like all of our special guests today? Yeah, because like we did have a very great talk, and I learned a lot from that as well.
An applause for Chase.
Yeah, and thank you for having us. This was super awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Chase.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Dan. And I think that's all the wrap up of our community call today. And this is not over yet, and we're definitely we definitely gonna want to see the pop team and also the road team later in the future. And yeah, like thank you for coming to our community call, and then like thank you for spend time on sharing your story with us. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Thanks, everyone. And thanks, Chris. I don't know who else are the organizers here, but thank you for everything. And thank you again, Chase.
See you.
Bye-bye.